Greetings. My name is Pastor Doug, and I am the pastor here at Portage United Methodist Church in Portage, Wisconsin. I grew up in the United Methodist Church, and from a very early age, I remember how much the church was a part of my family's life. Both of my parents were and still are very involved in their congregation. We often spent all morning at church on Sundays, 2 worship services, choir, Sunday school, and fellowship. There were committee meetings, choir practices, and other work during the week. Plus, there were the trustee work days, the mission trips, and the other special events throughout the year. As my brothers and I grew older, our parents made sure that we were getting involved too, and sharing in the experience right alongside them. The folks at church were people who helped raise us. They were friends and mentors, guardians and teachers, adoptive aunts, uncles, grandparents, and more. Our church was the place where we found deep relationships, celebrated the good times, and supported one another in the tough ones. I can't begin to imagine how different my life would have been without them. We all have our own stories about what the church means to us. There are people here we know and care for, experiences we've shared together. As a matter of fact, I've already been hearing from several of you about what this church means and about how these people have mattered so much in your lives. There are many good, strong memories here, a sign of the deep relationships and the love of Christ that is present among us. Part of what makes the current situation so challenging is that we don't really know what the future holds. We've all made predictions as to when we might be together again, by Easter, by Memorial Day, by July. But each of these has come and gone without us returning to in-person worship or church activities. It's frustrating. But as one of my colleagues recently pointed out, it appears that predicting the future is simply not one of our spiritual gifts. The reality is we need a break. We need space to really process what we're dealing with. Our Bishop Hisu Jung, has told us that we should plan on not being in person again until sometime after the new year. He said that we should err to the side of caution as a witness to our community and world that our love for neighbors is one way we love God and all God's creation. No in-person worship is advised until 2021, and then only after thorough review and reevaluation. This is the last thing many of us probably wanted to hear right now. The idea of not getting together in person for worship, for fellowship, or for any of the other things that we would usually get together for in the next 4 months is hard to wrap our minds around. What will we do for Rally Day, for World Communion and All Saints, for Thanksgiving and Christmas? There is good news, however. We believe in a God who is faithful, a God who has continued to journey alongside God's people through the good times and the bad. God is always creating anew, always bringing forth life, always making a way when it seems as if there is no way. Even though our building has been closed and our worship services have moved online, we have continued to be in ministry with one another as well as with those in our community. Our monthly food pantry has kept right on going, converting to a drive-in format where people pull up under the overhang and receive a box with a variety of food to help meet their family's needs. The Red Cross blood drive has found space in our fellowship hall to continue collecting their donations and to bolster much-needed blood supplies. And we've also had the opportunity to help some folks in our community who have been struggling with unemployment and housing issues because of the current crisis. Individuals are finding ways of reaching out to one another as well. They're reconnecting over the phone, online, and in person, with socially distanced visits through patio doors and nursing home windows. Some are making face masks. Others are donating their time and resources to support things like food pantries, blood drives, and other such essential services. What this means is that our church is alive. Yes, we may be struggling, but we aren't struggling alone. The love, compassion, and willingness to serve that we're seeing right now is proof that God is with us. We have a chance to use this time between now and the end of the year to think creatively, to try new things, and to imagine different ways of being in ministry together. In just a couple of weeks, we hope to host our first drive-in service as a way for those without internet access to still worship together safely. You'll be able to come to the church parking lot, sit in your vehicle, and listen to the service live on your radio, just as if you were watching a drive-in movie. It's possible that we will also be able to start holding drive-through communion beginning in October, so that folks can receive the sacrament and be reminded of God's grace in our lives. Our staff and our lay leadership are working hard to come up with ways of reconnecting us to one another and to God, of meeting people where they are and addressing their needs in these present moments. You can help by sharing your ideas, by volunteering to gather supplies and to make connections, and by encouraging one another along the way. I am available to talk on the phone, online, or in person. Or if you just need someone to be present and to listen, I can do that too. Simply call the church office and I will make the time to sit with you. More and more, I'm starting to understand what Paul meant when he told the Philippians, "I thank my God every time I remember you, constantly praying with joy in every one of my prayers for all of you." I am grateful for those of you I have met, and for those who I have yet to meet. I pray with God's help, we will continue to share this journey together. May it be so according to God's will. Amen.